Remember that time EPCOT tricked you into learning?
Today we are going to be talking about...
We're talking about the only thing that matters, which is EPCOT in the early days. Spoiler alert, I brought my microphone.
Horizons, all shiny and new. Horizons where your dreams will come true. Cut to Breed Love.
Have you ever looked beyond today into the future?
I'm sure he's got his silver microphone out already and he's singing right now. Horizons was an attraction at EPCOT that opened shortly after the park did.
For the amount I hear about Horizons in my daily life, I feel like I have clearly missed out on something.
Have you ever dreamed the dreams of the children? And then the children go, ah, just imagine.
So Horizons was an attraction in EPCOT that, as far as I can tell, was future Spaceship Earth instead of past Spaceship Earth, which is what we have now.
Here's the thing about me and EPCOT in the 80s. I went. So I did have a magical and educational, enriching EPCOT experience. Though the specificity of my memories is not so good.
To make this world a better place to be. New horizons for you and for me. Horizons was an amazing ride. You would board an Omnimover and you would go around these beautiful sets. Very similar to the way Spaceship Earth is, which is now the last remaining sort of example of this kind of original EPCOT ride we have left.
This is one of those old EPCOT rides that I felt like I was at school. And I was like, can we go ride Maelstrom or like ride something? Some people love these, Breed Love.
And I
miss it. I do remember one scene that always that sticks out to me is that there was a boyfriend and a girlfriend on a teleconference together. That one was in Mesa, Arizona. And then of course, they was communicating on the phone to her boyfriend under the sea who was working on a submarine. So if you ask me who was cooler in that relationship, it would obviously be the girl on the Arizona farm.
But the cool part about Horizons, the part everybody loved about Horizons, is at the end, it was like a choose your own adventure tale. So it would say, which of these three do you want to travel on? Do you want to go to space, to the sea, or to the desert?
Who would choose in the desert? I want to live in the future in the desert. Hydroponic plants.
I think the choose your own adventure ending was very special. I mean, I don't think that was a thing before. I think that was a first. In EPCOT, maybe in any of the Disney parks, that you could select a different ending each time. That's cool.
I absolutely do wish Horizons was still around. Let me tell you something, EPCOT is my favorite park, and part of the reason I love EPCOT so much is the nostalgia that the park has, that old school future. Like, I know that doesn't make any sense because the future is supposed to be present, but I guess the future isn't present, it's the future.
I mean, we get a lot of yesterday and today in EPCOT now, and there's not really that much tomorrow left.
I would like to go on Horizons because everyone that did is like obsessed with it. So I want to see what all the fuss is about.
EPCOT was designed to educate folks right off the bat, and it was designed to do it in a fun way. Horizons really just brought that to the table. A lot of the original attractions that EPCOT did. So I miss it for that.
That was like a homeschool mom's dream. You get to go to Disney World, and like the amount of actual academic credit you could get out of EPCOT was astounding back then. And the times, they have changed.
Horizons was a beautiful ride. It was an era where you learned something when you went to a theme park. It was an era when art and science came together to create entertainment that was actually really fun.
Right there is a good ear for music. She's talking to our daughter, the desert dweller. brand new attraction is coming to EPCOT 94. It's called Innoventions.
Communicore.
I have no earthly clue what Communicore was. I think that everyone agreed when the 90s began that no one was going to tell us about Communicore. I have no idea what Communicore is. Thank you for asking.
Communicore was in the same buildings that Innoventions ended up in.
Those two very long buildings in the future world of Epcot, there's an east and a west. West and an east.
But they housed, at that time, for instance, computer systems that ran different rides in the park, which is really cool. So all the stuff that's usually hidden away.
And back then, you know, computers were like giant. They had all of these different like stalls and systems, and they were huge.
When you would reach around a computer to turn it on like this. And then you would get out your floppy disk of the Oregon Trail and you would just shove it in there and you could have a big old time, you know, after you were finished with your typing test.
There was like this man, I guess, who shrunk down small that would like jump on the computers and like talk about what they were.
Ken Jennings, not the guy who did really well on Jeopardy, as I initially assumed. And he would sing a jazzy song called The Computer Song, which was written by the Sherman Brothers, who wrote One Little Spark and Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. Like the iconic writing duo wrote The Computer Song, and he would sing it and teach you about the computer.
It was a big draw for people. So I hear, again, I really wasn't there, so I really didn't experience it. Well, and then the difference, but what a lot of people don't know, is the difference between Communicore and Innoventions is Communicore was all done by like Disney and Imagineering, if I'm correct. Innoventions was sponsored by tech companies.
Almost every company that's involved with Innoventions is the leading company in its field.
Walt Disney loved a World's Fair. To some, it could feel like maybe a giant advertisement for all these different companies, but that's what World's Fairs were, right? I mean, people would pay admission to go into a fair to basically be told, you know, this is stuff that you're gonna be buying soon. And
this is like a really informative video. Like, normally I'm like funny and jokey, but I'm being all like serious. Like, what is happening? Somebody say something fun.
I remember a lot about Innoventions, specifically when Epcot hosted Segway tours. There was an entire section of Innoventions dedicated to learning how to ride a Segway, which was at the time really cool, and I'm frankly very jealous that I never got to do that.
Are Segways cool? I always think people kind of look like dorks when they ride Segways.
Club Cool was there, which arguably the best attraction in Epcot. That's why I'm wearing this hat. It's a co-cat.
Beverly. I was just reminded of the delightful flavor profile of licking that piece of cardboard.
So there was a design your own roller coaster activity.
And there was like a hurricane simulation hosted by a paint company. A hurricane simulation, okay. You know, Twister was cool at Universal Orlando. But a hurricane simulation hosted by a paint company? I want to take a nap just thinking about that.
well, what replaced Innoventions was sort of a hodgepodge of various whims. The character spot.
And then now, while the massive renovations are happening across the park, Mouse Gear is living there for the time being. So we'll see what happens in the future. But current state, you have Mouse Gear in construction.
I liked Innoventions. I always like activities in the Disney parks that aren't rides. Like, there's gotta be more than just rides and eating. And that was a cool thing to do in Epcot, was like walk through there, see what the latest activities were. It was a great place to like cool off and not be so stressed out about making it to your Soarin' Fast Pass for 10 minutes.
I'm more excited for what the future brings. I think they can bring back what Innoventions was, but modernized, and that's what they kind of plan to do. So,
aren't there a bunch of big old empty places in Epcot? I'm always like walking by somewhere at Epcot and going, let's just shove a bunch of cool future-y booths in there so we can see all of the expensive things that we're gonna buy eventually.
Innoventions will showcase a range of products from cutting-edge companies. You'll be able
Hey, I'm glad you came to help me.
Actually, I came to see Einstein. Wow, you're getting clobbered.
Here we go. On a universe of energy. I bet I get asked to sing later, so I better save the good stuff.
So originally, Universe of Energy was a mega educational ride, which took you through like a dark ride, slow-moving vehicle that would take you through all the different kinds of energy.
In terms of technology, the Universe of Energy was very cool. Originally sponsored by Exxon. It was designed to show all of the different ways that we get energy and all the ways that we can, as a society, harness energy in the future, where it comes from, its history, and its impact. It is a massive theater show that ran for, goodness, how long was that attraction? 40 minutes? It was a very long attraction.
I literally called it my nap ride. And Disney now is pretty devoid of nap rides.
All I know is Ellen, because by the time I got there, she was there, and I just thought it was so great, and it was so much fun, and it was like the best attraction for people who just wanted to like chill and learn and hear her comedy. And then Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Which, had you told me that was going to be a combo in a past life, I would say, you're crazy. Watching it in execution, incredible. Ellen, with the aid of Bill Nye, is able to conquer a rival in Jeopardy.
Stupid Judy. Stupid energy.
The whole theater seat starts to move, and we are going forward, and the screens open, and we are in Jurassic Park. Da-da-da! We're in Jurassic Park with Ellen.
I didn't need this version, okay? I loved the original.
The iconic Ellen fighting dinosaur with a stick. Bill? 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 Bill?
The little Ellen animatronic seen some better days, y'all.
Not the greatest animatronic ever. I'm just gonna say that.
I just Googled the Ellen.
It's hard to make an animatronic human lady look realistic.
There it is. Thank you to our editor, who's the best.
Now, odds are that our editor is gonna put a nice picture of the scary skinned Ellen animatronic doll right here for you, so you don't have to Google. And if that's true, I do apologize, because you should have had a choice in the matter of whether or not you wanted to see that.
How could they do this to her?
Well, this one's the hit. That's the mania that I feel. That's not really in the song. Feel the flow. Here we go. It's the universe.
Ellen's Energy Adventure will soon become the home of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is going to be a brand new state-of-the-art roller coaster.
It's an Omni coaster. It's like if you mix together an Omni mover and a roller coaster. It can turn, the car can turn in all directions.
I can't wait. I don't know what I'm gonna learn about the future, but it does fit in future world, right? Guardians of the Galaxy. It's next to Mission Space. Maybe they'll teach us something about the galaxy. I'm hoping, but I'm just excited we're getting another thrill ride at EPCOT. Very exciting.
I don't think there's enough Jeopardy-based attractions, so I would appreciate, maybe Ellen could teach us something else. Like maybe it could be a Jeopardy themed, universe of sharks, and we could put it at the Seas Pavilion. I'd be very into that.
Bring in the Guardians. I'm ready.
That attraction and like Captain EO can always come back, because they're just legendary that way.
Bring back the nap rides. You're tired. You're sleepy, and you wouldn't be sleepy if you were on Ellen's Energy Adventure.
Universe of energy. Ba-da-da-da-dum.
Taste buds, I love peas. I know how to please. It's known as too good for words. Oh,
Kitchen Cabaret is my life's biggest regret that I never saw.
Who doesn't want to learn about the 4 basic food groups at that time in any other way than a stage show? It's Chicago with food.
Kitchen Cabaret, I really like this, and this will probably be an unpopular Disney opinion, but it was just so hilarious to me. Kitchen Cabaret was a show where you went into a like cabaret type of entertainment theater, and fruits and vegetables and food sang to you about their purpose in a healthy, balanced diet.
The most iconic part is the vegetables and the fruits. That's what everyone remembers most. Veggie, fruit, fruit, veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit.
Veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit. Veggie, fruit, fruit.
Veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit. Veggie, fruit, fruit. Veggie, veggie, fruit, fruit. Veggie, fruit, fruit.
And it starred Bonnie Appetit, a very, I would call her très sexy.
Bonnie Appetit was built like a Coke bottle. She came to quench your thirst and give you knowledge about food. And she brought out every act that was in the Kitchen Cabaret.
She was a very good-looking lady.
She's singing about the blues, the mealtime blues. What are we gonna have for dinner? Oh my gosh, I'm stressed out. Have to make sure everything's ready for my husband when he gets home. The kids are all going crazy because they're hungry. What am I gonna do? I know I'm gonna tell you about some food. You know, I don't know the song, but it was that type of thing.
Not only was Kitchen Cabaret kind of getting dated and it wasn't drawing as much of a crowd, the big reason they changed it from Kitchen Cabaret to Food Rocks was the food pyramid came out. They decided there's no longer 4 equal food groups. There's actually a pyramid of how you're supposed to eat, and they wanted to reflect that in the educational information presented in the show, so it became Food Rocks.
Food Rocks! Kitchen Cabaret was at a 10, and they needed to turn it up to an 11.
No longer hosted by Bonnie Petite, it is hosted by Food Rapper, and he's voiced by Tone Loc, who is a rapper of the 90s, who I know as playing Emilio, the cop in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
The general difference between Kitchen Cabaret and Food Rocks, it's like Kitchen Cabaret 2.0, to be honest with you. The music is updated. They take a lot of parodies. Well, they take a lot of popular music and rewrite them to talk about the food pyramid.
I believe there is a hit by the Peach Boys, where they are singing about we're giving off good nutrition.
Do 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 do.
Good nutrition.
Every bite you take, every move you make.
Kids love Sting, right?
Is this the real life? Is this... If I put a food word in here somewhere, does it count? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from the cottage cheese.
It was Cher, right? Wasn't the fish supposed to be Cher?
How about some fish tonight? Oh, I love a dolphin song. Got an appetite. Oh, a tuna casserole. Have some stick of fish. Try a chicken dish. Just keep it lean. That's it, lean. Oh, just keep it lean.
What you want, baby? I got it. Rich and sweet, and don't you want it? But we ask you to take it in moderation, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
If you'd eat some cheese, make it low fat, please. And I'm like, that's a ridiculous rule because full fat cheese is 1, better for you and 2, delicious. So, refrigerator police, don't be so ridiculous.
Hey, what sits in that space now is Soarin'. It was Soarin' over California, now it's Soarin' over the world. That's an upgrade. That's a pretty massive upgrade from a cabaret about food to one of the most immersive attractions in the history of the Disney theme parks.
We love Soarin'. We love it. We absolutely adore Soarin'. So I'm not mad that it's gone because we love Soarin'. But we did love that show too. And again, it's a nod to those of us who got a chance to experience it. And a little special reminder of the time where fruit and vegetables and a fish that looked like Cher sang to us and reminded us to keep it lean.
All of these attractions are very early Epcot attractions or their successors, and they all have a certain amount of that 80s, early 90s charm. You know the kind.
If I could bring back one, I would bring back Ellen's Energy Adventure because it was fun, funny, and a great place to just chill out.
I think you already know the answer is Kitchen Cabaret. I want to see Bonnie Petite.
I am going to say Horizons.
I'd love to see that Ellen animatronic again. Stabbing away at a plesiosaurus. That's not the right. Dimetrodon. That's what I'm going to say it is. Stabbing away the Dimetrodon.
Maybe Ellen's Energy Adventure.
New horizons for you and for me. Well, now I'm sweating more than ever.
I just wish we could like start a band where like I'm Miss Cheese and Breedlove could be Mr. Broccoli because he's tall and vegan, and like Alan could be the toast of the town. Like Quincy, she could probably be Miss Ice Cream. Hey everybody, it's Molly. We hope you loved that new episode of RTT. Make sure to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you know when new episodes are coming out. If you want more RTT right now, click over here for a playlist of all of our episodes about the Disney parks. And if you want more All Ears, click over here for a video where we discuss the best rides in Epcot. Thanks for watching.